Hello there, Padawan learners, Jedi Masters, and lore legends. Welcome to the Bendu podcast, where we talk all things Star Wars.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 18 of the Bendu podcast, where we seek balance in the Force. Tonight, we have Crawler. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
And we got Nate Johns.
Hello.
What's up, man? So, we decided to kick Josh off the podcast. No,
too many rich mom jokes. Yeah.
Just joking. No, he just couldn't make it tonight. So, we're going to just be us three tonight doing the podcast. So, but we got some fun stuff to talk about. We got some stuff to talk about. The Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga has come out, and everybody who loves Star Wars, everybody and their moms, uncles, brothers, cousins is playing it. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at this. Just show us again. Oh, yes.
The helmet comes off with the slide cover.
Yeah, love it. Love it. We also have some really, really interesting stuff to read about or talk about with the next Star Wars book. So we're going to get into that, The Shadow of the Sith. But before we do all that, I want to make a couple of quick announcements. I realize we actually never do these on the podcast, so I should probably start doing this. We have a Discord now. We have a Star Wars only Discord, the Bendu Podcast Discord. If you want to jump in the super secret Discord, it is in the description of the YouTube that we're doing right now. So you can go check us out on youtube.com/MillhorGaming to get that link. Also, this is really cool. We released our first Star Wars lo-fi beat ever on our YouTube channel, and we have 5 more coming. So if you guys want to start chilling out to some of our Star Wars lo-fi beats, you're going to be able to do that. So hopefully in the next week or two, we'll have the rest of them up there and create a playlist for you guys. But guys, let's just dive in. I haven't got to play it, but Star Wars Lego Skywalker Saga. What's the dish on this? Are you guys excited? It looks different than other Star Wars games.
I mean, it's well animated. It's got comedy in it. Like I've been playing. I started episode 4, so I started with the original trilogy. You get your choice of where you want to start. So whatever trilogy is your trilogy, you can start with the prequels. You can start with the original. You can start with the sequels. But the middle 2 episodes between each are locked, so you can choose your starting point, and then you can go from there. There's lots to do post game. I'm kind of searching around a little bit, but I'm not killing myself kind of trying to find everything, because some stuff is going to be locked behind or made easier when you come back with a Mandalorian with a jetpack, or somebody else that has a different ability, a force ability that can do something, so that they can move throughout the level and find the Kyber blocks of the Lego pieces. And there's also micro minifigure pieces to find in each level as well. So there's lots of collectibles to find. There's good comedy in it, like the first part of episode 4, when you're trying to escape with the droids out of the escape pod. There's stormtroopers that are taking showers in the back hallways. There's 3 that are sitting in a hot tub that make the your kind's not welcome in here joke, about kind of cantina style joke. The escape pod becomes like a washing machine. So when you land on Tatooine, they're 3PO and R2 are taking underwear and socks out of their it's pretty tongue in cheek, and there's definitely some comedy built. Like there you see that. I mean, that's a funny thing about the original trilogy. If you didn't see, it was Luke taking his lightsaber and pointing it right at his face, which he does in the movie, but they're leaning into it more. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I've been watching a few streams, and one of the things that I actually saw, I saw the fight with Snoke, with Kylo, Rey, and Snoke, and how they kill Snoke. It was hilarious how they did that. Like I was laughing so hard when I saw that, and I was like, okay, this is a game I have to play. Like I got to play it.
Yeah, I'm excited for more space combat because it definitely goes kind of free range in some parts of it. Like it just the space combat just looks
Like,
great.
Look at it right there.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah. It just looks so stinking good, man. Like everything about it. Like I was trying to read some reviews and things like that because I was going to try to go in blind and not like see anything or watch anything, but I just had to like jump into a few streams and watch it, and
the story's not going to be ruined for you. You know what's happening.
Yeah. and I heard it's like there's a ton of open world elements to this one now. It's like a lot different than previous.
Yeah, so like you get outside of the Skywalker homestead, and there's like a little Jawa section. There's some Tusken Raiders hanging around. You can find the Sarlacc pit. You can see the back entrance to Jabba's palace. That's all just in this like open hub Tatooine area, and then you go find Ben. There's like these story markers that highlight blue, and you go step in them, and then you press A to advance the story. Otherwise, you're in this like free roam area.
Yeah.
Mos Eisley is a pretty big area with lots to explore as well. So I mean, it is pretty impressive. Just the open exploration that there is in this game.
Yeah,
it's not super linear. It doesn't. The story can be, but the free roam stuff that you can come back to, and it's definitely a collectathon game.
Yeah. So it's currently out on Switch, Xbox,
PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation and PC. Nate, you sound like
you might
Darth
need to
Vader.
unplug and replug.
You sound like but yeah, it's like I was thinking about getting it on Steam, but I heard that like it's really, really good for like just dropping in couch co-op. And so I was like, man, do I want to get it on console instead? So like me and the kiddos can just grab a controller and roll with it, you know?
That's part of the reason I picked it up, because I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'll be playing it with my 6-year-old. He's excited to try. He hasn't really done much in the way of games at all, so this will be one of his first ones. He used to watch me play the complete Saga.
Yeah. I haven't had our kiddos play very many of the Star Wars games, so I think this would be a really good like opportunity for us to all just jump in and play. Can you play more than 2 people, or is it still just 2 people?
I don't know.
I was gonna say
single player, multiplayer, the Switch version.
I think it's just 2 people.
I think the Switch version, Switch version just says 1 to 2, so I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this game almost needs like online multiplayer. Like, just
I mean, the game was that's getting greedy. The game was already delayed.
Right.
Come on, man! Everything's multiplayer nowadays. You gotta have something.
That splash screen, the main title screen with all the characters there. I think last week I saw on Twitter somebody collaged all the live action characters into that kind of arrangement. I'd have to go search Twitter or something like that, but it looked pretty cool. Somebody took that much time in Photoshop and was able to make that happen.
Yeah, and the graphics actually look really clean.
Yeah,
like really clean.
Which is why I kind of picked it up on 2 platforms. I wanted to have it on Switch for the portability, and then just I wanted to be able to take advantage of the beauty that I think, because they spent a lot of time, I think, on the backdrops and the areas that you explore, and I wanted to see it looking its best. So that's why I got it on Xbox as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to load it up on my Series X. I think it'll look great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am jealous for everyone that's playing it already, because I have not had a chance to even buy it. So,
and if the humor's like the recent like Disney Plus specials they've had, it should be a lot of fun. Like the Christmas one and the Halloween one. Like as long as it's on par with that, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. And some of the dialogue that I've seen, even in like some of the gameplay trailers, like the one we're watching now, it it definitely has some pretty funny, hilarious dialogue in it. So
the shooting feels good. Like you pull the left trigger and you go into like an over the shoulder kind of aim down sights, and it feels really good. There was some funny stuff. There was a clip just a little while ago that Leia was shooting stormtroopers. If you shoot them in their foot, they like reach down and grab their foot and hop around the animations that they put in it's got some. They took some time and really like took care of like really making the game responsive and funny, and just it looks great.
yeah, like even some of the lightsaber combat I was watching and the flying, it just looks really like crisp. Like it's not just like waving your sword in front of you. It's like the movements of everything just looks so clean.
There's a lightsaber toss. There's a quick action for like a force push or whatever. It is pretty fluid.
Yeah. And then this is like some of the space battles we're seeing right here. Wow, dude.
Better than some of the Battlefront stuff.
It looks, yeah, it looks, wow. This is, yeah, I can't wait to play this, man. That looks hilarious. Like he was just like juggling a stormtrooper like it was a soccer ball. That's hilarious. I think too, like I'm gonna try for you guys that are watching us on YouTube. I'm gonna try once I pick it up to do some let's play on there, just so some of you guys can see some of the gameplay and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much more input on this game other than just what I've seen, and it just looks aesthetically great. Look at that, man. Jeez.
I'm excited to dive more into it and just and really experience what it has to offer.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move ahead to the next Star Wars book that's coming out, which is, let's see, it's called Star Wars Shadow of the Sith. This looks like it could be a game changer, guys, like a huge game changer with what they're doing in the lore, what they're doing in the book with Luke and Anakin and everything like that. It looks insane. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for you guys that are watching this live, so you can read up on it too. But wow, I know I asked you guys to read it before the podcast. Nate, I know you read it.
I got down right as we were starting, and I had to hold it in my reaction because it is something pretty big at the end there.
You almost told Josh.
Yeah,
that's what he would have done had he been here. He would have just read it as we talked about Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. Yep. So there are going to be a little spoilers in this. This is on StarWars.com. You can read it. It's like an excerpt of the actual book that's coming out, which I believe. Let's see if I can scroll down. I can't remember the release date. I think it was
June 28th.
June 28th.
June 28th. Okay. Nate is our Darth Vader tonight with his mic. It's hilarious.
Oh, doing it again?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So there was a really big part in here. So basically the premise that you see in this is Lando and Luke find some information about Ochi, and they're going over to basically find the Emperor's kind of hidden base that was on Exegol. And Luke is fighting this dark, shadowy figures, not just one, multiple figures that he can feel in the Force at first, and then he can't feel them, and he's like fighting them, but his saber is going through them, like it's almost like a spirit of some kind, right?
And he was on Tython, and he doesn't know how he got.
Yeah, he like
Exegol.
He got like transported there from Tython to like on the Seeing Stone to Exegol, and it's like, hold up. Because he was meditating and he thought it was just something like a vision, and it was much more than that. I'm kind of scrolling down to that part because I
was actually wondering if it's something like what he does at the end of.
I was just thinking, I was wondering if it's
something similar, and that's kind of how his first.
Because is Lando with him on Exegol, or is it?
No, it's just him in this part.
He could just have meditated himself there then.
Yeah, because I think in The Rise of Skywalker, they talk about how Luke was on the trail of Ochi trying to find the key that Rey found and Kylo found, but he never found it. So,
because he never found the ship.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. Like Ray and them found the ship by accident, but they found it. So, but yeah, what's really interesting in this is in this fight, like Luke is almost being overwhelmed. It's really odd because he can't feel them in the Force. And then suddenly this blue lightsaber appears and like fights them off. And they all like cower away from him. And as they turn to reach down to give Luke a hand, it's a freaking Force ghost. Not only a Force ghost, but it's a Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker. Like, what? Crawler.
Oh,
What do
yeah.
you think
So,
about that, dude?
well, first off, which form does Anakin take? Is it OG trilogy Anakin, or is it the prequel Anakin in the special edition OG trilogy?
I don't. It's got to be like Episode 3 Anakin. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
So, looking at the description, his thick hair was shoulder length.
Okay,
And had
so
a
yeah,
slight wave to it.
it's not. Yeah. So it's Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
I mean, this is cool. I mean, this. How many years before, or how many years after
20.
Jedi or Return of the Jedi?
So the official like description says 2 decades after.
And so and Force Awakens takes
like
like
10 years
30
before.
years. Yeah. Okay. I mean that's interesting, and it's before Luke kind of gives up on the Jedi Order. Ben has already left, right? Because he was thinking it was Ben.
Nearly 2 decades. So it's not quite 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely trying to bridge
When he says Ben,
the OG trilogy into the sequels. So I mean they're trying to.
when he says Ben, I think he means Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he thought it was
Okay.
old Ben.
Because remember, he always called him Ben. He never called him Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
True. It gets confusing though with Ben Solo and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so they're no, because that would have been his Jedi Academy fell. How many years?
So it's unclear exactly when this is. It just says nearly 2 decades.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the timeline on this, but the thing that I'm more like curious about is just how the heck is this changing the lore? Like, not only do you have a Force ghost that can materialize, but can fight.
But is it changing the lore? We don't know what those wraiths are.
True, but like we've never seen a Force ghost actually fight in the physical realm.
Well, but we saw. I mean,
We saw Luke.
that's an
project.
evolution because Luke caught the lightsaber.
True. Yeah, maybe
And,
it's learning how to materialize.
So Qui-Gon never got to manifest his physical form because he wasn't able to finish his training.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda goes and finishes that training after Qui-Gon reaches out to him. He then, I think we're going to find out more here in May. I hope we get some Liam Neeson voiceover and learn a little bit about if it's, because I believe it's Obi-Wan communicates with Qui-Gon while he's in isolation and learns what he needs to learn, and he's probably maybe he travels like Yoda did to because was that on Dagobah that Yoda went to?
So in Clone Wars season 6,
6, yeah.
he does go out and he goes to
I thought it was Dagobah. That's why he goes, because Dagobah's strong with the Force.
No, he doesn't go there. He goes to Korriban, or Morabon as it's called now.
Okay.
But like he goes to Sith homeworld. He visits the tomb there, and like interacts with a Sith spirit. Realizes it's, he knows it's just like a vision, and then he goes on to this weird planet no one knows of and meets the Wills and learns about how to. Qui-Gon learned that because Qui-Gon starts to commune with him. But yeah, man,
So,
I mean,
I think that's just an evolution of kind of the Force Ghost and
Yeah, makes sense.
it's
And maybe at this point they all just having Force Ghost parties and just sharing knowledge and they're just hanging out together.
Dude, can you imagine though how incredible this is going to be, where you could potentially see Anakin Skywalker fighting along with his son at some point, or even Luke coming back to help Rey and other content they may make, and like, you know, just getting this, like, that's one thing I felt like the recent trilogy we never got to see is like the BA moments of Luke, right? That we all wanted growing up. Like, I feel like we're getting little bitty hints of that in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, we got that at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
But I think we've had it in the comics too.
In the comics, yes. Yeah, like in the Kylo Ren comic, it shows him take on the Knights of Ren and just absolutely demolish them.
I was actually thinking of that scene when I was reading this.
Yeah.
Or even how Kylo fought the Knights at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And we're potentially maybe seeing Bad Batch season 2. Maybe we'll see Mara Jade. I mean,
dude, if they bring Mara Jade into this, I think I'll be like super stoked, man. Like,
because she was cloned at Mount Tardis, right? Or she was trained. She wasn't cloned. She was trained. Or no, is she a clone? I forget.
I don't think she's a clone. No,
she can be whatever they want her to be at this point.
Yeah, just long as she's in it.
But she was trained at Mount Tardis at least, and she was, I think, a guardian of that facility for the Emperor.
Yeah. But this is just incredible. Like, guys, go read it, because I think this could be huge where Star Wars is going. Like, we could see even more epic we can see more epic just force powers and abilities and things like that you can see just starting to pop out more and more and more, you know. So,
yeah, because Lucas never wanted force healing, right? And then that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And I trust Filoni. I feel like Filoni, like, my wife and I were actually talking about this the other day, because my kiddos have been rewatching Rebels like a lot. They like, because we were sick this last week, so all they did was watch Rebels. And one of the things I've noticed that he does really well with is he gives you a moment in the show or in the film to just feel. Like, it's not just jumping from one scene to the next. He lets you kind of sit in your emotion for a second. Like, one that I can just think of offhand is when Mando reaches for, you know, the metal little ball and Grogu's gone, and he hesitates, and he lets you just kind of sit in that emotion for a little bit. Like, I feel like if anybody, I trust Filoni to be able to tell a story and interweave all of this together, because now he's head of all the story, right? So, you know, I can't wait.
And give Bryce Dallas Howard a Bo-Katan series or something like that.
Yeah, we need it.
And at the end of the description, as Ochi hunts Rey and her parents to the edge of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Will we see Rey's mom?
Oh my gosh! And there's no Josh.
I know.
No escaping
I
it.
read that
No
and I'm like,
escaping
oh, he's not here for this.
He would have had a heyday with all this.
I know.
He would have been like, what? Yeah. Oh, poor Josh. That poor guy.
So Rey would be what? About 8 years old?
Yeah.
I guess depending on how early it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, it says nearly 2 decades after.
Yeah.
So define nearly. Is that 18 years, 17, 19, you know?
I think they purposely keep it all kind of gray.
Yeah.
God, we're just hitting all the points here.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, I mean, this could, I can't wait to read it. There hasn't been a book I've been really excited about. Like, I tried to get excited for the High Republic, but like I started reading the comics and they just weren't registering with me. Like, they were cool, but I was just kind of like, yeah.
The first book. I haven't gotten into the second one yet. I've got 2 and 3 kind of on deck to read. 4th one's out too, and I think the 5th one's even this summer.
Yeah.
I think it's either PlayStation or Xbox has a Marvel Unlimited 3-month trial or something like that. I'm gonna have to activate, and I want to read the Darth Vader comics and get going on some of the High Republic stuff and just read it.
I'm gonna send you a super secret link, Crawler, where you can read all these for free.
Okay.
I don't advertise it because I like supporting the comics and the writers and the illustrators and things like that. but I'm gonna send you a super secret link to let
Okay.
you read
And
all these.
your local library, if it has Hoopla, there's a lot of Marvel stuff on there too.
Yeah,
Through your library.
yeah. There's a lot of ways you can read it. You can even go to your local comic book store because most of this will be dirt cheap.
Yeah.
If they even have it, because the Star Wars comics are pretty tough to find sometimes. So, but yeah, I just can't. I mean, it feels like I think before the podcast, Nate, you were saying something about how they definitely are going to do this to kind of.
I think they're trying to beef up the sequel trilogy again, the Exegol stuff, and just it came out of nowhere. Now here's the fill in the blanks essentially with because it'll be hard to do with anything live action. Do the age of actors.
Yeah.
They could go back the animated route, but
Which is unfortunate that the front crawl on Force Awakens didn't paint a good enough story,
Right.
and it was was there 1 or 2 books I think that kind of
Aftermath,
explain
a couple of them,
and a lot of that is lost on everybody, and it's just like
and
I think
some of them,
I think a lot of the general public thinks that Coruscant was destroyed, but it wasn't. It was an entire other system that the New Republic set up the capital on.
Yep.
And Akbar and Leia were worried about the First Order gaining power, and so they created a resistance against what was the First Order without the kind of official permissions from the New Republic. And so it definitely varies from what the EU was.
mm-hmm.
But I did see something interesting the other day that was like Lucas never he like sanctioned the expanded universe, but it was never canonized before it was uncanonized, and then this new like he never accepted it as what it was. It was just this
thing.
It was just this thing that he had given writers kind of permissions to go do what they did, and I think the general public grasped onto it and really liked it, but it never came to fruition, or it wasn't what Lucas had kind of envisioned. So we all had our idea of the twins and Anakin that Han and Leia had,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ben Skywalker with Mara Jade. Like it all kind of Filoni definitely is taking aspects of the EU,
Yep,
and shoehorning it in as best he can.
Yeah.
Thrawn is the biggest example of that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I mean, they've even had essentially 2 new trilogies written about him by the original author of the Thrawn trilogy. So,
yeah.
And do you think that's going to get explored this year with Mando season 3, or is that going to wait for Ahsoka?
I think it's Ahsoka.
Maybe like a lead into at the end of the season or something.
I mean, they like to combine them all together,
cross them up. Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing
how cool would it be if, Bad Batch, I guess, takes place pre, but if any of the Bad Batch survive through that would be cool to see a live action rendering of the Bad Batch.
I would love that. I would love to see the Bad Batch on the TV screen, man. Like, there's ways you can do it.
Yeah, especially since they don't look like the clones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can find actors that look like Hunter.
Rex was at the Battle of Endor. Isn't that been confirmed?
Yes, he was. Yeah, Rebels, it says that. Yeah. So it was confirmed that the older gray bearded guy in Return of the Jedi was Rex. So
nope.
Are they saying no?
No. He's his own character, but Rex was there, just never got screened on.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, that's nice. Now they don't have to make him look like that. So yeah, I mean, there's lots to look forward to with this book. I mean, like, I can't wait to. I'm just hoping that they really I feel like in the past, that's kind of what Star Wars did, is they had like this cool story and then they fill in all the gaps with the expanded media, whether it be comics or books or whatever it would be. It just, I feel like the new trilogy needs that. It needs a little.
I mean, it still needs. Think about how many years of
the pacing was rushed.
The original trilogy had too.
Yeah,
I mean, we're still pretty close to the sequel trilogy to have filled in, because that didn't even take off, I don't think, till like the 90s, really.
Yeah. I mean, look at the way everyone thought about the sequels too when they first came out. They're like, "Oh, they were crap." Now everyone's like, "Oh, I love them." You know,
I would
So-
go that far.
I love Jar Jar. He's the best.
Oh, you mean the prequels? Okay.
Yeah, sorry, prequels, not the sequels.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, yeah, you hear Ian McGregor talk about it a little bit. He's getting kids that grew up watching those movies that are now mid-20s and kind of coming up to him, and like that's their Star Wars, and
Mhm.
they're excited about it versus people that had different exposure to Star Wars and then saw Lucas quote unquote ruin their childhood with his new blue screened Star Wars sets and everything. I mean, they've definitely, in retrospect, compared to the sequels. I mean, I'm sure the sequels are somebody's favorite, and they'll eventually be, kids will grow up and that'll be their Star Wars, and they'll be better remembered than they currently are right now.
Mhm.
But everyone has their Star Wars is for kids, as Freddie Prinze Jr. always put it in a very un-PG rant on I don't know what podcast he was on, but he was like Star Wars is for kids, and you outgrow it and just appreciate that it's for kids. And if the movies that came out when you were a kid it's your Star Wars. And
yeah,
I mean, my son loves The Force Awakens. He loves the Rathtar scene. I mean, that's always the one he wants to watch because of that.
yeah. I mean, and for us, like Liam, for other people, is like our Mark Hamill, you know. So it makes sense.
Ewan. Maybe Ewan. More.
Yeah.
Maybe not Liam.
Yeah, McGregor. Yeah,
Liam was only in one.
yeah. True. Yeah. Well, guys, any other thoughts on the Lego Star Wars Saga or the new book? Because like I said at the beginning, this may be a shorter podcast just because we haven't got to play the Lego game yet, but we're hoping to get into it soon. But any other closing thoughts, guys, from y'all? Anything?
6.5 weeks.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh,
A double episode with 2 episodes.
Double episode. Yeah.
instead of-
We talked about? We didn't talk about
No, we
that.
didn't talk about
no. Yeah. There's going to be two with
Mhm.
Kenobi. So that makes me
They
think that
pushed it back 2 days.
Well, and so that's taking the Mandalorian approach, right? It's going to be a
Mhm.
Friday premiere every week.
I think it's going back to Wednesdays. I think they're just
It's-
shifting the first one.
it's
Okay.
a
We're essentially
Wednesday, so-
delaying the first one and bumping up the second one.
You got to unplug and replug again.
Yeah. So either way, I mean, we're going to get a lot of good Star Wars. And I saw a rumor that the Mandalorian may be coming out in the summer as well.
I saw that sooner than we think.
Yeah. So we'll see. Lots of good Star Wars around the corner. So
because I think Bad Batch was delayed, right?
I think
Or no, it's going to be fall. Bad Batch is fall.
So Bad
Ahsoka
Batch
was the
maybe.
one that was pushed back. I think Ahsoka was pushed back a
And
little bit.
and Andor's maybe supposed to be first quarter
Andor
next
should be
year.
this summer. Is
Or
it
is-
familiar? It should be this
Is
year.
it? I
It was
don't-
supposed to be last year
That's a
originally.
lot of Star Wars this year.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna
I
have a
think
lot of
it's
stuff
up
to
as
talk about.
20.
That must mean there's going to be a lot of Marvel next year then, because
I mean, there's
they've
already
kind
a
of
lot
been.
of Marvel.
Well, yeah, shows though they've kind of been
I mean,
going
we've
back
got
and
Moon
forth.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they trade off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Moon Knight is
Ms.
great, by the way.
It is. New episode tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Ms. Marvel's coming up later this year, I think.
Yep. Yeah. So lots of good stuff to watch. I can't wait. Lots of good Star Wars content, and it's
Andor
gonna-
is scheduled to release mid to late 2022. 12 season, 12 season,
dang.
12 episode run.
Wow.
So what if we get 3 shows this year?
If we get,
Like-
so we're gonna get Obi-Wan,
Mhm.
Andor, and Bad Batch. What?
And
what
maybe
is-
the Mandalorian. Like we could get the Mandalorian this summer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I wonder how long Bad Batch is because, I mean, the first season was 16 episodes. That's a long time.
yeah. Either way, I'm stoked, dude. So much good stuff. Yep. Well, I think that's going to about wrap us up for tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us on a shorter podcast than usual. Blame Josh. Just go to Twitter and at N64Josh and say, "How dare you make jokes about Ray's mom?" And just see what he says.
The best week to make jokes about Ray's mom.
Exactly.
missed
He
it.
missed it. He missed
We'll have
it.
to give him crap.
Yeah. Make sure you check out the description below for more great podcasts like the Halo Infinite podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe for more episodes and great content right here. But appreciate it, guys. And remember,
The Force will be with you, always.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, Master.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with us all.